personal foul.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
The Boston Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
Up on down. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
I don't know. It's tough. Tom's up there, man. Being tough.
Well, I've been a fan of Boston Celtics for, my whole life pretty much.
The first Celtics game was back when I was like 7 years old.
The Boston Celtics became legendary.
What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Jess Almeida here on YouTube and on Beantown Takes, and today we got a reaction video for you today. The Boston Celtics have made a trade. They've made a big trade, actually. The Boston Celtics have acquired KRISTAPS PORZINGIS from the Washington Wizards, and I can't believe what they gave up, because I never really thought that the Celtics would grow a sack to sell Marcus Smart, but now Marcus Smart is a thing of the past for the Boston Celtics. Smart is going to Memphis as a part of this deal, and then Gallo and Muscala are going to the Wizards in this deal as well. And then the Celtics will also get 2 first-round draft picks. One that will be happening tonight, where they get the 25th pick, and then they get a future first-round pick next season via the Golden State Warriors. I got a few emotions on this trade, I'm not going to lie. Marcus Smart's been a part of the Celtics for 9 years. He has been the heart and soul of this team. He's been the longest tenured Celtic on the team. But at the same time, I look at this. Damn, what a good move from Brad Stevens. I'm not going to lie. If we're looking at it just Marcus Smart alone, because that's how we're looking at this, right? Gallo didn't play for us last year. Muscala wasn't really a key piece to what we were trying to do. He was towards the back end of the bench. We're looking at this pretty much just Marcus Smart alone. Wow, they got a haul for Marcus Smart. I'm not going to lie. 2 first-round picks and KRISTAPS PORZINGIS for pretty much just Smart alone. That's a huge deal. They got more for Marcus Smart than they would have with Malcolm Brogdon, because originally the Celtics were going to trade Malcolm Brogdon to the Clippers, and then the Wizards were just going to get Gallinari, and the Wizards would have gotten Marcus Morris as well. But the Celtics were not getting a first-round pick in the previous trade, and now they add Marcus Smart in the deal, and they get 2 first-round picks out of this, and Porzingis. I'm not going to lie, it's a pretty huge haul for Marcus Smart. It's a W for Brad Stevens on that part. But I am going to say this, however. I'm going to turn to the negative. You lose defense in this situation. You lose a player who had that dog in him at times. He gives it his all on the court. He'll do whatever it takes for them to win a game. And if you had any playmaking whatsoever, it's gone. Marcus Smart had the most assists for the Celtics in the regular season, with 6.1 or 6.3. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I know it's at least 6 assists a game. And the Celtics lack playmaking, so now they got to find that elsewhere. I don't think Brad Stevens trades Marcus Smart if he doesn't have a plan behind it. They don't add Marcus Smart in this deal if they don't have something up their sleeve. There could be another move coming for another playmaking guard or whatever. Or, here's the second reason why they wouldn't do this. They wouldn't add Marcus Smart if they didn't feel like Derek White was ready to take that next level. From what I checked with the stats, Tatum and Brown were better when Derek White was on the floor. So I don't think the Celtics do this trade. I don't think they add Marcus Smart in this deal if Brad Stevens doesn't have something up his sleeve, or if they don't think that White can take the next level. So I think that's why they were okay with letting Marcus Smart go. But here's the good part about trading Marcus Smart, though. We do not ever have to worry about him taking the last shot of the game ever again. How many times have we been on this channel where I have complained where Marcus Smart thinks he's the guy? He's Steph Curry, and it ends up costing them a game. How many times have we done this? Too many. Did his assist numbers get up over the years? Absolutely, they got up over the years. But when you're a guard and you're shooting 33% from 3, 40% from the field, that just means your shooting's not that good. So do we lose defense? Yes. Do we lose playmaking? Yeah, we do. We lose playmaking. Did we lose the heart and soul of the team? Absolutely 100% we lost the heart and soul of the team. But the offense, honestly, might have gotten better from this. We are going to go into detail later on in the week of what they should do going forward. Unless they do a deal tonight in the draft, we'll be talking what next steps are after Marcus Smart, post-Marcus Smart era. So we're going to react to this video here from NBC Sports Boston. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy these videos. Subscribe now if you guys are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. Links in the description down below. Without further ado, stop straight into this video. Before we begin, I just want to say to Marcus Smart, thank you for 9 amazing years with the Celtics. He was one of the key pieces, next to Isaiah Thomas, as to why this Celtics culture was brought back. Post-Pierce, post-Garnett era. I really wanted to see this guy win a championship. As much as I've been saying, get him out. I really wanted, especially after last year where he looked like he was finally buying into his role. I really wanted to see him win a championship with this team. Celtic Nation will always love you. We'll miss you for sure. You fit the identity of Memphis 100%. We love you. We will miss you. Thank you, Marcus Smart. We will forever love and trust. And before we start again, to Jaylen Brown, you are now the longest tenured Celtic on this team. This is your team now. You are the leader of this team. You, Brown, you. Yes, you. You are now the leader of this team. Is this what you wanted? We'll see.
What's up, everybody?
We'll see how you take that role.
When we ended yesterday's emergency pod by noting that we would be back on Thursday with a new episode, this is not what I had in mind. So
nobody did.
Yeah, by now you now know the first iteration of the KRISTAPS PORZINGIS trade fell apart. Celtics audible, and at the stroke of midnight, a deal comes through that sends Marcus Smart to the Memphis Grizzlies to get Porzingis to Boston. Celtics also bring back a couple of first-round picks. I keep saying it. If you went to bed at 10 o'clock, I don't know if you were lucky or not to wake up to this news. I thought about doing this pod and undoing everything that me and B-Rab talked about right like at 1 a.m. Just wasn't in the mood. So I said, I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to get some iced coffee.
I had to sleep on it too. I had no words last night on the live stream.
Maybe a donut. And see if I feel better in the morning. I do not. So it's hard, right? Like, I understand there was going to come a point where the Boston Celtics had to make tough decisions, decide whether they, what the next iteration of this team looks like. Brad Stevens has already had to make tough decisions throughout his brief tenure as GM, moving on from Kemba Walker in the infancy of taking over for Danny Ainge and bringing back Al Horford as he tried to sort of build the right supporting cast around the Jays. But Marcus Smart, man, just feels different. And I know there'll be some out there, some of you faithful watchers were not always in the Marcus Smart camp. We spent a lot of time on my network debating the merits of Marcus Smart, and I think you guys know where I fell. I thought he was really good for this core. Marcus certainly didn't have a particularly good year last year. The numbers with the Jays weren't as glossy as they had been in the past. His defense obviously took a step back after winning that award. You could tell me that, like,
I will agree with
on
this,
the cusp
though.
of turning 30 next season, that there's worry, given the way that he plays, that he would be able to maintain his impact moving forward.
I agree with that.
And yet none of it
take,
really
too.
tempers the news that, you know, the Celtics are moving in a different direction. KRISTAPS Porzingis, we'll see. You know, even when it was just Malcolm Brogdon in the deal, I was hesitant to just champion it as like a definite win of a trade. Malcolm Brogdon was good for most of last year. Some flaws were exposed in the playoffs, and certainly arm injury didn't help. Will Malcolm Brogdon shoot north of 40% beyond the 3-point arc again this season? I'm not sure. Will Malcolm Brogdon be on the roster for the Celtics? I'm really not sure. I'm sure there's, you know, we've seen guys walk back to teams after trades fall apart. But I think the Celtics signaled with their movement, and we'll get into that in a minute about like where this all goes.
Good.
But you know, I was thinking about it as my kids woke up this morning, and it's weird to say, like, there's always a big separation between, you know, work life and personal life and the whole rooting for a team. And I grew up here, and like, of course, I'm interested in like how the Celtics fare, and my kids are Celtics fans. We got a dog during the pandemic. We were deciding what to name it. We almost called the dog Marcus Smart, and ultimately called him Kemba. So one way or another, the dog was getting.
Speaking of the devil, hold on. I'm gonna show you guys this. So I got this a week and a half. I say a week ago. This came in the mail for me a week ago. I bought this for $40 on Pristine Auction. Thought it was a great deal a week ago, and then this whole entire trade saga happens.
Traded at some point, but it just goes to show how players can sort of embed themselves with you, and you know, there's emotions that go along with this thing. And so if you're one of those Celtics fans reeling on this Thursday morning,
You
kind of
Celtic fans should definitely agree.
pondering
But to say
where
this
the
is a
team
bad
going from here, I'm
deal,
with you. You know, I feel that pain. I wish I could tell you unequivocally that like the numbers suggest it's going to be better.
to say this is a bad deal, I mean, I think that's a little crazy.
This Porzingis move is gonna give them
I
that
know.
nut.
I know. If you were on the live stream last night when the news broke down, that I said this might be Brad Stevens' first L. But that was in the moment, right? I got to sleep on it a little bit, and I thought to myself, you know what? 2 first-round picks and KRISTAPS Porzingis for Marcus Smart. Whew! Wow. That's a huge haul for the Celtics. I think, personally, though, it would have made more sense with Brogdon in the deal. It would have made more sense. 2 injury-risk players going from one team to the other. I mean, both teams take injury risks. Celtics take an injury risk. Clippers would take an injury risk. And the Wizards would take an injury risk with Samora Sr. I mean, I thought the deal made sense with Malcolm Brogdon in it. But Marcus Smart, man. But then, right, I go on this morning and I see Marcus Smart only played 61 games last year. And I thought, what? So wait, is he injury risk too? We'll see. We'll see.
I will relent that as much as I said, like I'd be okay with the running back. Like I understand you couldn't just bring back the same exact core or same exact roster and expect to eliminate all the inconsistencies in this group.
Right.
I did think that the start of this little makeover by adding Sam Cassell and Charles Lee and Phil Pressey and just having Joe having another year under his belt would help. Thought that would take some of the roller coaster out of the year. I thought just everybody having a full training camp and being better able to define like the offensive system. I thought maybe Smart would bounce back a little bit. I thought Rob would be a little bit healthier. You know, and I don't know if I thought Brogdon would be on the roster long term. I do think because of the upcoming second apron that there would need to be a move. I'm just not sure, especially after Brad came out and said, you know, we really like our core and it's all about building around them, that I saw Marcus Smart move coming. And so it's just a little bit of a shock. And again, as the Brogdon deal fizzles, you gotta sort of be nimble and audible and figure out what's next. But yeah, Marcus Smart. Love and trust era is over. Winning plays.
Green hair.
And Marcus Smart was just a really good dude. I'm gonna miss having him around in Boston. I'm gonna miss his openness, his willingness to be the one that talks. You know, I keep trying to rack my brain about what this feels like. I think about 10 years ago, almost to the day, trading Garnett and Pierce. But I think we knew the end was in sight at that point, and there had to be a transition. Last year I saw this kind of looming. Again, you know, there were hints. There was concerns about Smart moving forward, but certainly just not the way I figured Wednesday night would end. I will say, maybe we get into this in part 2. I'm gonna try and collect myself a little bit before I maybe drink some more of this iced coffee before I get into what comes next. But just right off the cusp, you know, my big takeaway, man, it's weird. It's weird to wake up and
see that's what it is.
9 years of Marcus
I
Smart. Every year they've been in the playoffs. You know, you think about it, they make that Pierce KG trade. They endure Brad's first rough season. Brad Stevens get hired like a week after that deal comes to fruition. Endure the roller coaster of year 1 and mostly downs on that thing, and they draft Marcus Smart with number 6. Remember the Smart and Young and Smart draft? Yeah, Smart is the only one that persevered out of that. But he's been the common thread through everything. Winning plays has been the common theme. Marcus Smart has been the heartbeat of this team, even if he's not the superstar or focal point with Jason and Jalen in town.
Well, Jaylen Brown now has to be that heartbeat, in my
it's
opinion.
Kind of weird.
He has to
maybe
be
we'll
that
look back,
guy.
Maybe we'll be like, man, we all overreacted. Porzingis was really good for this team, but in the moment, it hurts. All right, let me take a deep breath, and then we'll try to process what this means for the Celtics moving forward. Is now. So my guess is you don't just have a deal for Marcus Smart and 2 first-round picks lying around if you weren't kind of plotting.
That's what I said.
That there might be another deal coming.
That's what I said.
So I wonder if the Celtics had at least come to the realization that there might be a need to move on from Marcus this year, and maybe they had another plan for that point guard position.
You know what? I'm gonna say it right now. Here's my move I would make. I know I said to Mike I would like somebody who facilitates and is a playmaking first guard. But even though this guy scores 17 points a game, he'd be my move. You ready? Grant Williams, Peyton Pritchard, for Spencer Dinwiddie. That's my next move.
I'd love to tell you what that is, but certainly Derek White getting more minutes should be a good thing for this team.
That's true too,
last year, and whether it was Smart or Brogdon, removing one of those guys from the mix is going to open up the time that Derek White deserves, and puts another player that really accentuates the talents of the Jays alongside. So, that's a positive. Porzingis, we'll see. Again, on paper, the fit seems intriguing. 7'3" guy who can shoot 3-pointers. Should fit really well with Jason and Jalen. The looks that if all those looks that Marcus Smart were getting are now going to KRISTAPS Porzingis, feel pretty good. Okay?
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's
a good thing, and we'll see how he fits. I
needed this video to feel a little bit better.
Yesterday's episode with me and B-Rob, we're trying to figure out the lineup, right? Like, all right, is it Derek White and
Brown, Tatum?
Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and then you go double big. So do you have Al out there? Al's going to be in and out with back-to-backs. Do you go Rob?
No, I think you go Porzingis and Rob. I think you go Porzingis and Robert.
The rover role on defense, but when Porzingis stretches the floor, so
if you do want some leadership presence, then yeah, Al Horford is probably going to be in that lineup if I had to guess.
Get away with that. But I got to see it. So that's why there's a lot of maybes with this deal. If the deal means that Grant Williams is not back, there's a hole to fill there too, even though Grant obviously fell out of the rotation with Joe. And ultimately I get it. If you're not going to play Grant next season and you feel like you've upgraded your big man spot and that he's not part of the plan moving forward, then don't pay him. Like you try to flip for an asset, sign and trade, hope you get back something.
Right.
I don't know if it's going to be as good as people think. Remember, there's base year compensation in play. Like if you try to trade him to another team, given the Celtics tax status, like it gets hard. 50% of return coming back, or you're settling for picks for a team that just is hoping to not have to pay him the overall. So yeah, it's there's some more shoes to drop, and maybe it starts tonight with draft night. Celtics do move up, get the 25th pick. Okay, moving up 10 spots. They've found talent in that range. You found a Grant Williams in that zone. Maybe you find somebody that helps fill out this rotation, who builds maybe a point guard of the future. Maybe it's another big man that fills out that stable of big men. I guess I'm just it's a lot of maybes here. I don't know. I feel like a lot of off seasons I know the path. I know what they've got in mind. I understood the Kemba Walker trade, or you're banking on Al Horford bouncing back. I understood last season, you kept pretty much the core intact from a finals run, and you add Brogdon and Gallinari. Now it's weird. And I will say this, B-Rob brought up a great point, something me and him had talked about a lot privately. It was a little frustrating that last year at the trade deadline, the Celtics weren't willing to move Danilo Gallinari's contract while he was injured to find someone that could have helped the pursuit of a title in that moment. Again,
Right.
Windows are never promised.
That's fair.
And it felt like the Celtics have a sense of urgency this offseason to sort of shuffle it up a bit and get the right pieces out there for a championship run. Where was that urgency last year when
Right.
the team
That's
was
a good
positioned
point
and
also.
clearly needed a little something, maybe another big or something that could help. I don't know if that would have changed the trajectory. Maybe Brogdon getting injured, maybe Brown slumping in the playoffs, and everything that played out would it have been enough to overcome the Miami Heat and Caleb Martin. Bring up stuff because it's just getting me
I
frustrated.
can't stand Caleb Martin either.
Now smart. Anyhow, eager to see what comes next. Brad Stevens will have to step in front of the cameras and address all of this after tonight's draft. Not only with the pick of the 25th pick, but offer some insight onto what's going down.
Yep.
Hopefully the deal will be in a more finished state by that, so we can actually talk about it and not have to punt on acknowledging it. But yeah, it goes back to it. I think my biggest concern moving forward is just like, we talked so much about identity last year, and the Celtics never really tapped into it, right? Like they never got back to being that defense first team. They never got to the team that wasn't a track team, wasn't running from anybody, that punched teams in the mouth in the second half of the 21-22 season and fueled that run to the playoffs. Without Smart here, it's just different. The dynamic is different. The voices in that room are different. How will the Celtics compensate? How will they plot a path forward? If you trust in Brad, if that is if we're going back to the old in Danny we trust, if it's now in Brad we trust, all right, you can sell me on that. Brad has proven that he's not willing to sit on his hands and usually has a plan about how to reshape things, how to get the most out of his team. This is a pretty bold move in an off season where a lot of us were probably thinking wasn't going to be quite bold. Time will tell. The other lingering thing here is Brogdon's health. If the Clippers were scared off, and you hear reports this morning that there's no guarantees they'll be able to now move him in a deal, that complicates matters a lot. First off, you can't have a $22.5 million player who isn't on the court. If he needs surgery, probably better to do it sooner than later and try to get him back out there. I was already worried about Brogdon's ability to maintain his shooting splits from last year, coming off an arm injury. Not going to inspire much confidence there. I wonder if the Celtics can find another move to make sure that they stay, that they don't just have to carry him. And I think about feelings. Like, it's natural. Like, trades are falling apart and guys go back. But still, there's always this notion, man, this team wanted to get rid of me. And
Right.
I don't care if you can justify it with the CBA or not. Things get weird. And so, a lot of question marks, a lot of maybes. Just hoping this iced coffee would make me feel a little bit better. I might need another one. Might need a couple on draft night. Buckle up. We'll be back again. Hopefully not to discuss a third iteration of this trade. I hope no one fails. Well, maybe you do hope that someone fails a physical so that Celtics have to get Marcus Smart back. But let's see what happens. Let's see where this road takes you. Evidently, there's going to be a lot of Celtics Talks podcasts moving forward because things are getting weird. And to all you people out there that are hurting this morning, I feel you. Let's put on a brave face. See where this goes. Like, subscribe, check us out on the YouTube page.
That's gonna do it. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe now. You guys are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. The link's in the description down below. Well, now a Marcus Smart article gonna be coming out soon. Still gotta do a Bruins one. I still have to do a Bruins one. I still have to do a Patriots offseason overview. Now adding the Marcus Smart one as well. I don't know if I was gonna give Malcolm Brogdon one if he got traded. I don't know if I was gonna give Brogdon one because he was only here for 1 year. But with Marcus Smart, where he was a part of this team for 9 years, that's definitely one I have to write up. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Definitely I'll have some more reactions to this entire trade. Definitely have some more reactions to the Marcus Smart news. If you guys want me to react to a fan's perspective of this trade, let me know in the comments down below. It's been your boy Jesse. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys. I trust Brad Stevens with my heart. I trust Brad. I know he's doing this. I know he's not doing this for no reason.